I proposed to my best friend of 14 years. We got married, and now I celebrate our anniversaries by myself. We met when we were 4. First day of prep school. Her mom somehow dropped her at the wrong primary school entirely. I saw this confused girl standing alone by the swings and walked right up. I gave her half my juice box, and by pickup time, we'd made our moms exchange phone numbers. That was our first and last day at the same school, but it didn't matter. Every Saturday for years, our moms would drive us to the local bakery on High Street. She'd always get a Lamington, I'd always get a jam donut. We'd sit at the same corner table by the window and talk for hours about absolutely nothing important. When we got older and got our own phones, we'd text until 2 a.m. on school nights. My twin brother hated how close we were at first, but he got over it. She was just part of my life, like breathing. Then everything changed when I was 9. My dad died in a car accident on a Tuesday morning. I didn't go to his funeral, didn't answer anyone's calls, didn't leave my room for 2 weeks. When I finally went back to school, I stopped talking to everyone who wasn't family, including her. 3 years passed like that. 3 years where I ignored every text, every call, every attempt she made to reach out. I told myself I was protecting her from my grief. Really, I was just a coward. We were 13 when we ran into each other at the hospital. I was visiting my mom who worked there as a nurse. She was walking out of the oncology wing. Our eyes met across the waiting room, and it was like no time had passed. We talked for 4 hours straight that day, laughed about the stupidest things, cried about my dad, felt like those 9-year-olds again. Then she told me why she was there. Rare bone cancer, stage 3. Doctors found it 2 months ago and started aggressive treatment immediately. The same day we reconnected, actually. She said it was a sign. I asked if she'd beat it. She smiled and changed the subject. For 6 years, I watched treatments destroy her body. The chemo made her hair fall out 3 separate times. She'd joke about trying different wig colors. Purple looked terrible on her, she said. We both knew what we weren't saying. When we were 19, she handed me a crumpled piece of notepaper, a bucket list. Most things were heartbreakingly simple. See fireworks, watch a school play, try sushi, learn to drive. Number 7 made me stop breathing. Get married. She laughed when she saw my face. I know I won't make it to that one, but you have to promise you'll get married someday. For me, I couldn't promise that. I wouldn't. New Year's Eve 2022, I got special permission from her doctors and parents to take her out of the hospital for the first time in 8 months. We drove to the harbor to watch the midnight fireworks. She was so weak I had to push her in a wheelchair. But when those fireworks started, her face lit up brighter than the sky. At 11:59, I pulled out a lolly ring, the same kind we wore on our first day of school when we were 4. When the clock struck midnight, I asked her to marry me. She laughed, then cried, then said yes. I told her why wait? Why miss out on her own wedding when we could make it happen right now? We spent the next 4 months planning everything from her hospital room, had a small engagement party with just our families, threw a bachelorette party where her nurses wore matching pink scrubs, picked out a dress she could wear while sitting down. We got married on April 10th in the hospital chapel. 20 people attended. My brother was my best man. Her mom cried the entire ceremony. She wore white. I wore the nicest suit I could afford. We exchanged lolly rings instead of real ones because she said it felt more us. Our first dance was in her hospital room to a song playing from my phone. 1 month later, on May 10th, I lost my wife of 30 days. I visit that bakery every Saturday now. Order her Lamington and my jam donut. Sit at our corner table by the window. Sometimes I talk to the empty seat across from me. Every April 10th, I celebrate our anniversary alone. Light a candle. Eat wedding cake. Look at photos. She made me promise I'd get married someday for real. Find someone. Move on. But how do you marry someone else when you already found your person at 4 years old? I wear that lolly ring on a chain around my neck. Some promises are meant to be broken.
My horrible stepson said that I'm not his real father and to stay out of his life. So when I planned a family trip, I made sure he's not coming. I married Dana 4 years ago when her son Ethan was 11. He's 15 now, about to turn 16, and from day one, he's made it crystal clear where I stand. His parents divorced when he was 7, and he still sees his bio dad twice a week. They have this amazing relationship, and honestly, I've never tried to compete with that or force myself into a father role I was never meant to fill. But Ethan doesn't just see me as not his dad, he actively dislikes me. The eye rolls started immediately. When I'd ask about his day, silence. When I'd offer to help with homework, he'd walk away. Every few weeks, he'd hit me with, "You're not my father," like he needed to remind me of my place in his world. The weird part is his actual dad and I get along great. Mike calls me when he needs backup because he's got a new baby at home and can't always make it to Ethan's basketball practice. We're not best friends, but we coordinate well for Ethan's sake. And Dana travels constantly for work, sometimes gone for 5 or 6 days straight, which means I'm the one keeping Ethan's world running. I drive him to practice 3 times a week. I make sure there's food in the house that he'll actually eat. I do his laundry when it piles up because otherwise he'd wear the same hoodie for 2 weeks straight. I'm not trying to be his dad, I'm just trying to be a decent human who lives in the same house as him, but he won't give me an inch. I've tried suggesting we do things together, especially when his mom's traveling. Want to grab burgers? Go see that new Marvel movie? Hit the mall for new shoes? Every single time, immediate shutdown. Not interested. No thanks. Sometimes he doesn't even respond, just puts his headphones back in like I'm not standing right there. Last week, his girlfriend Zoe broke up with him. I could hear him crying in his room that night, and it genuinely broke my heart. The next day, I had to bring fresh towels to his bathroom, so I knocked first like I always do. He let me in. He was on his bed watching Love is Blind on Netflix. I recognized the episode because I've been watching it with my niece Anna, and we're hooked on the drama. I tried to connect. "Oh man, I'm watching this too with Anna. I'm 1 episode behind you, but I'd love to catch up together if you want company." Nothing. Not even a glance. He just kept staring at his screen while I put the towels away in his bathroom. As I was leaving, I stopped at his door. "Hey, I've got those spicy chips you like downstairs. Also grab some new cologne samples from that store you're always talking about. We could try them out. Or if you just need someone to vent to about Zoe, I'm around. I remember how much breakups sucked at your age. We're both really into colognes. It's literally the one thing we have in common, and I thought maybe this could be our moment." He paused his TV. Then he turned to me with this look I'll never forget and said, "Stop trying to be my fucking father. I don't like you. You're just my mom's husband. I have a real father and you mean nothing to me. So stay out of my life and stop trying to get me to do things with you, weirdo." Before I could respond, he got up, physically pushed me backward out of his room, and slammed the door so hard the picture frame in the hallway rattled. I stood there in the hallway for a solid minute just staring at his closed door. Then I went to my room and cried. Actual tears. I felt pathetic, but I couldn't help it. My niece Anna is graduating high school in June. A few weeks ago, while we were watching our show together, she mentioned she'd love to take a beach trip before starting college in the fall because she's never actually been to the ocean. Her family's never had the money for vacations like that. I thought it was a perfect idea. Anna's an amazing kid, and she deserves something special. So we started planning. I told her I'd cover her flight and hotel. My sister Zoe heard about it and asked if she could come too. Said she'd pay her own way. Then Anna asked if her best friend Jess could join, and I said absolutely. I'd handle the hotel, but Jess's parents would need to cover her flight and spending money. Yesterday I was at the kitchen table on my laptop calling hotels about availability and group rates for a beach house rental. Ethan came downstairs to grab a drink and overheard me talking about flights and beach activities. Donna walked in from the garage right then, and Ethan immediately perked up. Wait, are we going on vacation? Dana looked at me confused. I don't think so. Are we, Jack? I kept my voice calm. I'm taking my sister Anna and her best friend. It's Anna's graduation present. Ethan's face changed. Wait, can I come? Dana turned to me. Why didn't you invite Ethan? I closed my laptop and looked directly at Ethan. Because 3 days ago you told me I mean nothing to you. You told me to stay out of your life, so that's exactly what I'm doing. The silence in that kitchen was deafening. Ethan just stood there staring at me, and for the first time in 4 years, he had absolutely nothing to say.